nautical is a tough theme to pull off. You really got to commit to ships. And nowadays, people can't even commit to relationships. So what makes them think they can commit to ships, you know? I went to a store recently and I was looking at a bunch of decorations. And I noticed they had a whole section committed to the nautical theme. I don't really know how to describe the nautical theme, but basically, if you think it could be in a ship-themed house, or if it belongs on a cruise ship and you'd be like, yeah, that belongs here, that's nautical. Nautical is like anything that belongs on open water. That's what it would be. Like if you were to look in the background of a SpongeBob episode, that's nautical. Anything like anchors, coral, kelp, that's all nautical. And I went to this decoration store and I was looking at all this nautical stuff and I was like, I'm in the suburbs. I'm like, who is going to commit to a theme like this? Because then you got to really be about that lifestyle. Like if someone comes over and they're like, wow, okay, tell me about ships, huh? And they're like, what are you talking about? And it's like, well, you got all this, you have a sextant on your wall. Like, you want to maybe talk about that? It's like, oh yeah, I just like how they look. It's like, you don't even know what it does? No, I don't. It's called a sextant? Is that what you called it? Yeah, it's in your house. Yeah, no, that doesn't mean I know anything about it. And this is actually a really good strategy. I was thinking about this and it makes sense. You should decorate your house in a way that doesn't represent you at all. Like, for example, I have a little cat statue in a yoga pose. And if I was, to be investigated by a crime scene investigation team, they would look at that and be like, our suspect has a cat. It's like, no, I don't. You might think I do, right? Because of that, but no, I don't. I remember when I went to buy that cat, I was with my mom, the little cat statue, and I gave it to the cashier and she looked at it and she laughed. She was like, oh, this is cute. I was like, right? She was like, you have a cat? I was like, no. And she's like, okay. She turned to my mom. She was like, you have a cat. And my mom was like, you would think so, huh? And she was like, I have a dog. And then she looked at me and she was like, but you're buying it? I was like, mm-hmm. She's like, but no cat. I was like, no. She was like, cool. Well, I'll just go ahead and wrap this up for you. Because boom, you can't track me, can you? You're like, oh, he's buying a cat thing because he has a cat. No, I don't. No cat around here. That's right. This guy's getting no cat. Wait a minute. What's up? But that's what I think nautical themed people do. I think nautical themed people are serial killers, right? Because why would they make their persona so obvious? There's like, 7 people that care about nautical shit in the world? Why would they out themselves as one of them? No, they use it as a guise. They're like, oh yeah, I'm into nautical shit. Or should I say naughty shit? That's right, I kill people. It's like, oh goddamn, I would have never guessed that. Looking at this little replica ship in a bottle that you got over there. Wow, you don't seem like the murderous type. But then if you think about it, it makes sense. These ship in the bottle fuckers, they're meticulous. To mess with a ship in a bottle, you gotta really be good with your hands, Wasn't it the Crow, right? That Edgar Allan Poe poem where the person like killed someone and then they cut up the body and then they hid it around the house. They drained it and then they hid all the parts around the house and they got so nervous because people kept coming over and they were like, oh my God, they're gonna know. But that cut up job, that butcher job and drain, that's some meticulous craftsmanship right there. Almost the meticulous craftsmanship of a model ship fucker. That's right. Nautical people are bad people. They're doing bad things. You think you're next to a nautical person and you're like, yeah, they have a hobby. That's good. It shows they have passion. They have something to be happy in life. No. Art imitates life. You might think that's some innocent shit. No, they're doing that as an expression of what they're truly passionate about, and that's cutting people up and killing them. So I would beware of nautical people. But it's insane to think like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this little coral thing and put it in my house, because then you've taken a step too far in one direction. Like with the cat little statue I have, I've taken enough of a step in a certain direction, but it's not pushing it, It still looks aesthetic. You can get over the fact that I don't have a cat because you're like, oh, it kind of fits there. It's brown. It kind of mixes with the table that it's on. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Sure. maybe he appreciates what cats are about. But when you go nautical, ooh, when you go nautical, that's like you're going too far down the road. That's like if you're dating someone for like 3 years and then you're like, I should probably just commit, right? Because what I mean, I've put so much time into the. uh, I grew up with a lot of people that did that. Now that's the thing. I'm now far enough separated from high school that I now get to see people be like, "What else are we gonna find, huh?" And then they just pull the trigger. So that's nice. I like seeing it. But nautical is a really tough theme to pull off. And if you're not even close to water, that's even crazier. That's wild. Like if you're on the ocean and you don't really, hang out with the ocean that much, it still makes sense because you're like, well, it's right there. So I'm appreciating, I'm kind of giving a shout out. Like if you lived in Florida, wherever Disney World is, and you didn't have like maybe one Disney thing in your house, it'd be kind of weird. It's like, hey, you want to maybe assimilate a little bit? You want to maybe act like you're from here a little bit, And then some people take it too far and you're like, wow, that's a lot of flags. Are you sure? This is now an aesthetic detriment. You should probably take some of the flags down, you're right? You got to pick a team, who matters. But yeah, when you go nautical and you're not even around water, it's like, hey, what's up with you, guy? Huh? Are you trying to hide something? This is too weird to not be a cover up. Like, why are you trying to throw us so far off your scent? We're trying to get a read on you and you're just way offshore, Maybe you have some offshore accounts. Ooh, that's right. This guy's into tax fraud and murder. I knew it. But yeah, nautical, man, I just can't imagine. Like, I looked at some of the stuff, I was like, that's cool. But I was like, it's also a starfish. So, people are going to be like, oh, did you like sail? Do you like sailing? No, I went on one sailboat when I was in 5th grade, Miss Smith's class, took the whole class. And that's my only sailing experience. It was fun. I liked it. Not going to build a whole freaking living space theme around it, It didn't change my life that much. I got to see some of my peers throw up. Starboard. Took some of that away, huh? Look at me. Port side. Oh. That's all I got. I don't know anything else. But I can't imagine like buying a sailboat or like buying a giant shark head and putting that in your place and being like, yep, that's normal. It's like, come on, you don't think you'd be fucked up if like you had that, a giant shark head, someone came over and they're like, so you gonna talk about that? And you're like, what do you mean? You're like, well, do you have a shark head? Hey man, I don't come into your place. They get like offended. Hey, I don't come into your place and ask you, why do you have, that tapestry there? No, because that's normal, dude. You have a shark head. You don't think I'm gonna ask about that? I mean, get the fuck out of here. Okay? I thought, going in this, it was maybe a problem to invite, a mistake inviting you, and guess what? You proved my fucking point. So, prophecy fulfilled, motherfucker. Okay, get the fuck out of here. That'd be funny. If someone committed really hard to just a weird fucking theme, and then they didn't field questions about it, it's like, wow, Halloween year round, huh? Can I ask why? No, you can't. Okay. Because you got Frankenstein's monster just standing in the corner and you're not going to address that? I would appreciate if we didn't. Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. Okay. Are you preparing our dinner in a cauldron? Hey, man, okay, get the fuck out. That's enough out of you. It's like, I can't ask. I can't ask, And that's the tough part about being a person in society, right? Because sometimes we make like a fashion choice or like a choice with our career or like we make just any life choice. And if it's like too far out of, what we're usually doing, people are like, man, I gotta ask, right? And that's the shitty part because you're like, fuck, I kind of gotta explain myself, right? It's like, weren't you studying to be a doctor? But now you're like a a stamp collector? Like, you want to explain that? Like a professional stamp collector. You minored in stamps? I didn't even know that was a thing, you know? And it sucks because I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be funny if someone was like, no, don't ask me questions about my weird choices. But then that's what I want in real life. You know, I want to do things. And then when people are like, why are you doing that? It's like, well, I don't shut up. Shut the fuck up. Why? I don't need to explain myself. Be quiet. Maybe, I don't know, because I want to? Huh? Yeah, but why did you want to? Okay, that's it. Get out of here. All right? I knew this was a mistake being friends with you, but you've asked too many fucking questions. Oh my God. I'm the guy. I'm the guy committing to a nautical theme. I'm like, can I just have a boat? Can we just not talk about the boat? But that's the thing. If you do have a nautical theme, I would say 9 times out of 10, you want to talk about that shit. You dress your whole house up in boat shit just for people to be like, oh God, okay, what's with the sail? Oh, that sail, the sail that my grandfather gave me all those years ago. Yeah, that one that actually helped Christopher Columbus find India. Okay, well, he didn't find India. That'd be funny if you had a lot of like artifacts, but your history, you just didn't understand history. Like, yeah, that's actually the ship Columbus sailed when he discovered Australia. Oh, okay. What did you just say? I'm sorry. Do you think do you think Christopher Columbus discovered Australia? Okay, cool. Yeah, what's that? Oh, that is the submarine that Vasco da Gama used when he discovered Puerto Rico. Okay, that I hate how wrong that was, but I can't say anything because you're the guy with the ship house. And what am I gonna say, huh? Because, God damn it, I don't have the credentials, and I don't want to commit to the ship theme to prove you wrong because I don't want to live that life. But I need you to know how wrong you are for saying that. There was so much. No. Submarine. Do you think Vasco da Gama knew what submarines were? No, that's such. Forget it. Oh, is that a pineapple because you like SpongeBob? Oh, that? No, I'm just a swinger. Okay. Well, that's like the one thing that makes sense, but you could. That's fine. Okay. Anyways, if you do pull off a nautical theme, congrats. Congratulations. Because you're one of the few. What is it? Isn't that the Navy, right? The few, the many, the proud, or something. I don't know what that means. But yeah, it makes sense, right? The Navy, they're nautical people. So, yeah, why is it that when people have like really weird hobbies and shit, they're like, ask me about it. I'm like, okay, sure. And then they get too much. That's the thing. If you have a really weird hobby, great. Awesome. Congratulations. In the world, this thing we have, life, you are interesting. Well, you're taking the steps to being interesting. Now you got to, what is it? Like advertise yourself or promote yourself in a good way. Like if you're like, man, I really like peanuts. I know all the different types of peanuts. Don't bore people with peanut shit. No one wants to hear. Oh, do you know when peanuts were invented? Oh no, when were they? I don't fucking 1812. Oh wow, okay. Cool. In between the war, right? That's cool. Wow. And then leave it there. Gives people, if you have a crazy weird hobby, give people like Snapple facts. Give people like fun facts they can use at other people. Like, hey, did you know that peanut was invented in 1812? Oh, that's cool. Don't go farther than that. Do not get. Oh, do you know why it was founded? Nope. See, shut the fuck up. The problem is though, people are nice. People are gonna be like, they're gonna entertain you. They're gonna be like, oh man, why was it, huh? Why was it invented in 1812? And they're like, okay, this is my time. And then they give you a fucking thesis on peanuts. And it's like, no, stop. Just don't be so intrusive with the things you like. That's all I'm saying. If you like a thing, talk about it, sure, but don't go into detail. Don't make your thing boring. People are always like, yeah, why don't more people like this thing? And it's like, because you're the spokesperson. You don't see the problem here? Like if you were thinking about seeing a movie and then you saw an ad for the movie, like a trailer for the movie, and you were like, trailer didn't look that good. You might not go see the movie. You, human beings, are trailers for things they like. This guy that likes peanuts, he could really sell you on peanuts, right? He could be like, well, peanuts are actually really interesting. I'm going to get more into peanuts. But if he fucking bores you, if the trailer is a snooze fest, and you're like, peanuts fucking suck. They're as dry as they are dry when they're unsalted. That shit, that shit sucks. So if you have a weird hobby or whatever, that's cool, but tread lightly, okay? Just sprinkle enough interest to your friends as needed. Do not go overboard, because there's a sweet spot where you overdo it and then they're like, I don't care. You know, you gotta pique people's interest. You gotta tease them. That's all it is. And then that's how you reel them in, you know? You're like, yeah, you know, we actually, the average human eats 7 peanuts a day. It's like, what? Really? Yeah. Did you know peanuts are in water? And you're like, holy shit, no way. You're like, mm-hmm. And then move on. Leave it up to them to be like, wait, can you? No, but what else are peanuts in? There's no way. If peanuts are in water, there's got to be like trace amounts of it, right? So what else are peanuts in? You're like, well, thank you for asking. I'll tell you. You got to let them invite you to give more information. Don't be the guy that's like, he's just looking for an in. You're at a baseball game. It's like, does anyone want anything? They got a lot over there. You're like, oh, what do they have? Oh, I don't know, like normal baseball shit, like hot dogs, pizza, soda. Oh, any snacks they got? Yeah, they probably got like candy, nuts. Oh, what kind of nuts? I don't know. It's a baseball game. Peanuts, probably. Oh, peanuts? Did you know this about peanuts? It's like, shut the fuck. I knew you were looking for an in. You piece of shit. God damn it. I don't care if you want anything now, okay? I'm not getting you anything. There's those people. There's always those people. They always tie it back to a thing they know. And it's like, why do we even bring you? Okay? No one is nuts about you coming, which is ironic because you're the nut guy, you know? Peanut guy. Nut guys, that's something else. We don't bring the nut guy for different reasons. You know, I was thinking about it, and the older someone is, the more tragic it is that they're a bad person. Because you would have thought they'd learn by then, right? Like, haven't you gotten enough feedback that people aren't a fan? Like, it's weird. Like, I get it. Like, when kids and young people suck, I'm like, yeah, because you should. You're still figuring it out. Like, people, I said, are, you know, inherently nice, but they also inherently suck. I think people have a lot of range. I think people are the best, and I think people are the worst. People are funny because, no, humans are funny because they're like the worst and best propaganda. Is that how you say that? Propaganda? Holy shit, I don't know how to speak. Propaganda? Humans are the worst and best ads for themselves. Like, a human will show you all the reasons you should love humans. Like, oh my God, humans are great. Like, they do a great job. And then humans will also show you a plethora of reasons why you should be like, fucking what? Humans suck. We got to get rid of all of those. They're destroying a lot of shit. Why do we have so many of these things and they're capable of so much bad? You know, that's the thing. Humans are great. They can really show you both sides. So when kids are young, you know, people are young, it makes sense why they suck. It's growing pains, right? Like, I'm sure you can think back to high school and be like, I really wish I didn't do A, B, and C, you know? Because the teacher told us, hey, the answer to every question is D. So I don't know why I kept picking A, B, and C only, because I knew the answer. But no, I'm sure you could look back at your past and be like, why did I do that? Whatever that is, you know? But you learn. The beautiful thing about like being a person is now you can be like, well, I have enough self-awareness and reflective capabilities to be like, I did a thing that I didn't like, so I don't do it anymore, right? Like, I don't eat tomatoes. That's not the same thing, but yes, it is. You know, I ate a tomato when I was younger. I was like, fuck all that noise. Why? And so I stopped. We learn. We're smart, us humans. But that's what makes it sad, right? When you see like an older person, let's say 40 plus, right? 40 plus is like enough life. Even 30 plus. I've heard what, your prefrontal cortex, is that the thing in your brain that like is whatever development and shit? I heard that is kind of done late 20s for most people, right? So like past 30, you got it. You got enough of a sample size to be like, I know what people like and what people don't like. Maybe not like weird esoteric things like, what are everyone's views on the nautical theme, that maybe that's a conversation we'll need to have down the line. But there's little things like how you treat people that I think you can kind of get a gauge on by the time you're 30. Like you've interacted with enough people by 30 to be like, I shouldn't say this in front of this person or, So that's what makes it really tragic if someone is like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. Anyone that's above 30 to suck, it's like, are you going out of your way? Because you have enough data at this point to be like, I shouldn't do a thing. Because if I do that thing, then people will not like me. Now, I don't mean you shouldn't do everything in accordance to people's agreeance, but, most of the time, that's a really good rule to follow to be like, is this going to piss people off? Then don't do it. That's good. Go forward with that ideology, Sometimes it feels like some people are like, what's going to piss off the most people? All right, I'm going to do that shit. And it's like, why? What do you... I guess some people like to be hated, right? I don't know. But it's really weird. And that's funny, right? Because it's like, you always hear that thing where it's like, I've heard, it's not my belief, but typically it's like older people that are more bigoted. And you're like, how's that possible? Like, haven't you like gone through enough life to know not to be an asshole? Like, why are you an asshole now? Wouldn't you have gotten that out of your system? That's the thing. Kids, they really suck. And that's why when a kid sucks, you're like, yeah, but you can't blame. That's why when kids hit their parents, when parents hit their kids, I think we're kind of past that now, but like when parents hit their kids, I'm like, what would you expect? Like, don't suck so much. It's like, well, it's a kid. It will inherently suck. That's part of the gig, Like when you're working at a McDonald's, part of it is talking to people. When you're a kid, part of it is just being the worst fucking human on the entire planet. It's part of the gig. You have to do that to learn. And then when parents hit them, it's like, what the fuck? No, hey, did you not think that was going to happen? They're like, no, this is my way of correcting it. And you're like, all right, it's kind of weird. That's the other thing. You would think adults would be smart enough to come up with better ways to teach a kid a lesson than just beating the bad out of them. It's like, beating the bad out of yourself is actually considered a sin, if you know what I mean. But no. Oh, isn't that interesting? Nope, that's highly inappropriate. But I'll leave you with this. It's like that thing, beating the life out of someone. Whatever, never mind. if you for a guy, that has a double meaning. That's all I'll say. But yeah, it's weird when like older people are like the worst, right? But then they've gotten to a point where they're like, well, I don't have to give a shit if people hate me. So really, there's only like 10 years where a person will be a good person. Like 30 to 40 is the only time someone will be good, because it's the sweet spot where they're like, I've learned from my mistakes and I still care about what people think of me. But then right when you cross over to 40, you're like, who gives a fuck? Why did I try that? Why did I try being a good person? That didn't pay off. No, fuck that. Like, I know what the right thing to do is, but I'm not going to be bothered to do it. What are you talking about? Fuck that. So that's what it is, right? Your 30s to 40s are the perfect mix of like, I know what to do and I want to be a good person. And then your 40s on is kind of like, no, I know what to do, but I've seen that it's not worth it. So let's not. Because it does take extra effort, I think, probably, right? To be a good person. I wouldn't know. But Yeah, that's why people don't do it. But it is weird because some people, you're like, I don't even think you're capable of knowing what the right thing to do is. Like some people are like, yeah, sure. That's the saddest, right? When someone is like, you can see it in them that they know what the right thing to do is, but they don't do it. But then there's some people where you're like, you don't even know what the right thing to do is, right? You don't know why. You don't know why that accent you did to that person was offensive, do you? You genuinely think that's the right thing to do? That's fucking crazy, bro. Like people that get road rage when they're older. Do you have somewhere to be? Huh? Don't worry, bingo night will wait up for you. Trust me. You don't have to be mad. But that's the thing. The older people are the most angry. But that's because when you're angry at such an old age, you will always be angry. You were destined to be angry. Like if you're angry at an old age, that's because that shit's just been building up. You were never chill. Like chill old people, they got it out of their system. They're like, yeah, I kind of was upset for a little bit, but then I was like, whatever. But really angry old people, that's not because one day they were just angry. That's because, hey, that shit's been compounding on itself. They've just been getting angrier and angrier, which is really funny because it's like, you don't have to be. You don't have to give yourself a heart attack at 50. You can just shut the fuck up. That's the great thing. Road rage, you could just do nothing. And guess what? The world net positive. But you have to do the thing. You do, don't you? You have to suddenly ride my ass. Then you got to flash your lights at me. You got to do the whole thing. Hey, just don't do that. Because guess what? In an hour, your little stupid pea brain is going to forget this even happened. Or worse, everyone in your fucking life's going to have to hear about this for the next week. Those people suck. You ever get that? There's those people in your life where they get a little minor inconvenience in their life, like someone cut them off. And now that's the story for the next week. And it's like, what? Can we? No. You're almost as bad as the Peanuts guy. That's why we don't want to bring him anywhere. He always has to talk about peanuts. But at least with him, we know it's going to be peanuts. With you, it's the flavor of the week. You know, it's a chef special. Like, oh, did someone cut you off? Yeah. Oh, did they charge you for bags at the grocery store? I don't care. Those people fucking say, yeah, these fucking people, they're charging us 10 cents a bag. Okay. Then bring a bag. There's so many solutions. What do you want me to say, man? This is such a non-issue. This is how it starts, right? First they take away our bags, then they take it. What do they take? What? What are you talking about? Yeah, man. I studied history. Before they dumped all the tea over the harbor, they took their bags away. What? I don't know history. I know enough history to know that none of that fucking tracks. Like, did you just weave in the Boston Tea Party into why we now have to pay 10 cents for a fucking bag at Winco? What are you saying, man? Do you not have enough real issues in your life? No, because you do. Your family hates you. Why are you worrying about how much bags cost? If you just focused on your relationship with your family, they have bags. They would let you borrow their bags. And then guess what? The whole bag conundrum you worked up, that's gone, man. That's solved. You now have a happy family and more money in your pockets. What, 60 cents? Congrats, man. 60 cents a week? Look at you. You baller. What, 60 cents a week, 52 weeks? Shit, what is that math? I've set myself up for failure here. I want to say that's around like $32, right? Or something? I don't fucking know. No, it's like $31? I don't fucking know. But yeah, I don't know if do people not have enough issues? And then they're like, I'm going to talk about these little things in my life. But then it's funny, right? Because isn't that just what I do on here? Yeah, I saw this person cross the street a certain way, and now I'm going to talk about it for 15 minutes. Oh my God, he's self-aware. He knows. Then is he part of the problem? Or the solution? I don't know. No, I'm that older person that knows better, but will still say the thing, you know? That's great. Maybe that's why, I mean, that's got to be the freedom of it all, right? When you're older, you're like, yeah, I truly don't care. And then you lean in. And if you like seeing people uncomfortable, then man, that's your gig right there, right? You just get to say weird shit and not even feel guilty about it. That's the problem with being young and saying wrong shit. If you're like a decent human, you feel guilt. But the older you get, it's like, holy shit, I don't feel guilt at all. Nothing's holding me back. I've gotten rid of, these chains holding me back. I can now truly be a bad person. Yes. Man. I don't know if you have this. I have this. But when I leave my car, like when I park it in a garage or whatever, there's a couple things I have to do. Like if it is a garage, it's not outside. I always put the driver's window down, and that's how I know when a motherfucker's borrowed my car, because they put that shit up. And I'm on to you. I'm on to you, crabs. But another thing I do is I put the volume of my radio. I don't use the radio because I'm a 90s kid. That's right. 98. But no, the radio, I use Bluetooth. Like I connect to Spotify on my phone, but I put the radio, we'll just call it that, the volume of my car, down to 4. And earlier this week, I put it to 3. I was like, let's try that on for size. And it felt weird. I put it to 3, and then I let it sit there for a second. I was like, I don't like that. Yeah, we're not going to be doing that. And then I had to change it back to 4. And then 4 felt right. I like that. There are some numbers when you're messing with volume that you're like, I don't like that number. Like I don't like a 9. Like at that point, just go to 10. I don't like a 9. I don't like a 13, which sucks because that's like the perfect volume on my car. But I don't like it. I don't like the look of a 13. And I don't like the look of a 3. I guess 3. I just don't like how a 3 looks. But 4, I really like 4. 4, I can't describe it, but I like 4 because I don't know if this makes sense, but it makes sense completely in my head. A 4 is really nice because a 6 hooks onto it perfectly. I don't know if that makes sense. Like the same way, I like 6 because 6 can fix a 9. Like you can hook a 6 to a 9, and now it's a 15, which is a nice number. But a 3, you hook a 6 to it, now it's a 9. That's double trouble. I don't like 3. I don't like 9. 6 is just, yeah. But 6 is nice to a 4. Also, 4, you can just add a little, one piece, and now it's a 5. I like 4. 4 is nice. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. I like it. I like the way a 4 looks. It makes me feel good. But when I put that shit to 3, I was like, that's wildly uncomfortable. I don't like that. Why? Stop it. Get out of here. Do you usually come here? Because if you do, you shouldn't show your face, okay? We don't like your type here. Fuck you. So yeah, I don't know if you have that, but I just wanted to come clean and say I do have, there's a volume on my car that I keep it to, which is 4. And that's another way I know if you use my car, because my window's at a weird place, either closed or not closed all the way. And then my volume is way higher than 4. See, that's the other thing. The volume on my phone is always 100%. So when I connect to my car, the default is that my phone is already maxed out. So whenever someone borrows my car, they're like a normal person, I suppose. They put their volume like 1 or 2 clicks on their phone. So they take my car's volume to like 23. So when I turn that shit on, usually comfortable volume for me, 12. So then I turn that shit on, Bluetooth connects, beep boop, and then boom, it's on 23. My phone's on max volume, and it blows my ears out. And so the amount that I hate you already because you borrowed my car without asking, now I hate you twofold because that's, the volume amount that you put up. So yeah, but 4. If you use my car and you put it back, please put that shit at 4, okay? And leave the window open. If it's inside. If it's outside, please close the window. Don't leave it open. Because then someone might get into my car and change the volume. I don't want that. Not even because debris and stuff could get in, just another person could get in and change my volume. I don't want that. So yeah. Anyways, I think this is maybe 5 minutes short, but that's fine. So, we'll just leave it here. And make sure you like this video, like this episode, and I will talk to you next week. Okay? Bye.